Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another race in the Bwoah Racing League. Race number 7 on March 7th, the Monaco GP. It's the streets of Monte Carlo where we'll be heading to. And we had quite the exciting race last season around, but straight to the track. 3 sectors as always, 19 turns, 39 laps, which means 50% race distance today here in Monaco. And of course, if you didn't know already, every corner counts, every corner is tight and not much space for drivers to make their moves. Like we see, SV11 got a jump on Freeze last season around, a brilliant move at that. SV11 in the Ferrari last season. UK, however, in the penultimate corner made a tricky move down the inside of Rusty Nish, but he does get position. Mr. Vex became too ambitious and almost sent and ended UK's race. Freeze, however, had a horrible race end at lap number 28 where he lost his front wing and crashed out on the center of the track. And of course, the infamous drift, the Monaco drift as we like to call it, from Mr. Vex in lap number 21. However, Thunderbird was on track last season around. We won't see him racing here today. SV11 doing some incredible defending on the driver who possibly played the best support role in the race, where his teammate ended up winning it, Accelerate. Of course, the infamous hairpin as well, which saw Vix D56 stuck on the hairpin. Quite the hairpin hiccup he had, but it'll be exciting to see how he'll do here today. And wheel to wheel, we saw the 2 drivers who are teammates this time around. Thor, who is the reserve driver of McLaren, UK being a bit aggressive in the streets of Monte Carlo. More of that we'll hopefully get to see here today. And over to you, Ruds. How you been? What do you think of the race today? Will we see possible rain like we saw last season around?
First of all, thank you for welcome. I think this is really the mark as the season for the first season.
You're breaking a bit, Ruds. Let's hear that again.
Hope it now.
Yeah.
So I think this marquee season 4, at least for the first round, and who talking about kind of me go to accelerate reason, and he will rain. So anything, I forward to just sit in and then driver.
All right, you broke quite a bit, Ruds. From the bit we got, it was a bunch of things with Accelerate and the rain. And yeah, I'd say hopefully we do see a bunch of action here today on the streets of Monte Carlo. Shock qualifying will begin. 18 minutes for each driver to set in a lap time which will determine their spot on the grid. Last time around it was KDB on pole in a realistic performance Williams. To think if he could do that in a realistic performance Williams, what can he do in equal performance? But however, we do have General Pepe coming in as well. 5 times race winner, just like KDB. 4 times in fact, if I'm not wrong. Got myself a bit confused there. But one thing's for sure, this is not going to be a smooth sailing race for anyone. Everyone's got to be smart right from the start of the session, start of the qualifying session, all the way till race end. Folks who are watching, make sure you drop in the chat who you're fear for, who do you think will come out on top, of course. Exciting race is ahead. Looks like Mr. Wex is missing the race, which is incredibly unfortunate, considering we just played 2 clips which had him in it. Would have been really cool to have the Monaco drift twice in 2 seasons. However, it seems like we will be waiting. Nothing new here. For the 13 of you all watching, if you are familiar with F1 2020, you'll know this is not a rare sight. Where we jumped in as Freeze, first one out the pits, along with Williams. Hyrox 24 or Chris Bly, I presume. However, 18 minutes of qualifying has begun, 17 minutes left. Let's just bring a bunch of stats out on screen for y'all. Usually we would see UK setting in a bunch of laps with the intermediates, laying down some rubber so he can get the grip he needs. However, I doubt he'll be doing that here today. You can imagine the amount of traffic that will eventually be out on track. Each driver will have to set a lap time real quick if they want to be in the front of the pack at race start. So we might just see a new pole sitter here. Freeze will be looking to finish this race this time around. And Ruds, I hear a bit of you.
Audio. Yes. I hope that the audio for today will not.
Yeah, you're still breaking, Ruds, unfortunately. I wonder why. But I'm pretty sure you'll come through eventually. Right now we got Freeze and Ferrello out on track. So just Freeze and High Rocks 24. That was a Williams at back. An unfortunate couple of races the two Merc drivers have been having, Horning and Freeze. They've put their cars in the front row brilliantly. In fact, both the front row lockouts we've had in the league coming from both these drivers, yet twice, both the times they've not been able to have a good race. They've either failed to finish in the points or end up not finishing the race at all, like last time around. Yep, first one to set a lap time would have been Freeze, but he's invalidated his lap already. Now this is the tricky part as well, isn't it, Ruds? If you're still with us.
Yeah. Here. Hope audio is very.
Seems like we're still having issues, Ruds. But hopefully that gets sorted soon enough. Accelerate, getting all the support he'd need in the chat, along with Asan and Taib coming through for Accelerate. We got support for Freeze from Kaushik, as well as support from a fellow driver, Mr. Wex. So Accelerate seems like the favorite here this time around. It was his first race win in the league on this track last season. To date, he cherishes this a lot, and just as I talk about Accelerate, he has disqualified from the qualifying session. This is highly inappropriate for him for this race. He'll be starting at the back of the pack. First laps coming through, 1 minute 13.235 by High Rocks 24. Real cheeky, setting in a lap time that early. 14 minutes left into qualifying. I'm not seeing a bunch of other lap times coming through. Podium finisher last time around here on this track, Big Man Joe sets in a lap time 1 minute 11.749. His teammate sets in a lap time which is almost 3.5 seconds off of his. He'll be looking to improve that, I'm sure. Avi goes second fastest on the mediums. SV11 getting the support from chat. Priyanshi coming through for SV, and KDB getting quite the support from Perke Plays in the chat. But right now, Big Man Joe currently with the fastest lap time out there, as the rest of the drivers will be putting in lap times soon enough. Highly unfortunate for Accelerate disqualifying so early. Ruds, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm right here, Sagar.
Yeah.
I think it's my internet which is having some issues.
But we heard you loud and clear this time around, so go ahead, Ruds. What do you think? Accelerate disqualified already. Big Man Joe with the fastest lap time out there. 5 drivers have set a lap time already. 13 minutes left into qualifying.
I feel nothing but jealousy at this moment because I actually cannot spectate anything for some reason.
Oh no.
F1 2020 is trying to, I don't know, harsh my mellow, so to say.
Yeah.
But
I'll solve that for you in just a quick bit. Folks, stay with me for just a bit as I sort out a bunch of stuff. It'd be ironic if neither of us can watch the race now.
let's hope it does not come to that.
Oh, looks like bold predictions coming through in chat. Okay, coming through with a Big Man Joe will win prediction. What do you think, Ruds? Big Man Joe, that you have a shot at winning this?
Depends. For me at least, Big Man Joe is one of the finer gentlemen, so to say, on the grid who can manage the tires really well. And Monaco is more about managing your tires while not being slow. We know it's difficult to overtake. So if Big Man Joe maybe qualifies somewhere in the top 3 or top 5, I think he can make this work.
All right. Yeah, he was on the podium last time around. Possibly grabbing a win could be the ideal of situations for any driver out there, to be honest. But yeah, I'm actually gutted for Accelerate. He had been having issues with internet. He had mentioned that yesterday. But seems like it took a hit right now. Disqualified from qualifying, which means he starts at the back of the pack. He is quite the driver, so we will see him make the climb, I'm sure. But a race win from the back of the pack, that'll be quite the performance, I'd say, from Accelerate, if that happens.
For sure.
Yep, we should be in soon enough. For the 14 of y'all watching, make sure you drop in the chat. Who do you think will be on pole here in Monaco today?
What about you, Sarthak? Do you have any running predictions, so to say, at least for now?
I mean, no. I'd say touch and go. We'd even see KDB on pole once again. I think he's looking real strong here today. Could be that we could see a new pole sitter, but that's highly unlikely. Again, just 3 minutes up offshore qualifying, what we've seen at least. We'll be jumping back in. Hopefully no one's disqualified. That's really, that would be really sad. But yeah, nothing for qualifying, but for the race, as I predicted in our private chat earlier on, definitely a new podium finisher. And if we do see a bit of rain in the race, a new race winner for sure.
That is possible. I'm kind of inclining on the same prediction as yours, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you should be able to get glimpses of what's happening out on track roads.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and I think I can finally.
All right. And Big Man Joe's lap time still unbeaten, 1 minute 10.811. I think he's better the lap time since we last left out. KDB right up there, as mentioned. Ferrero, quite the competitive driver he's been, considering in the last 3 races he's been on the podium every time.
I feel that if anything, it will be the Mercs who might take us by surprise. I know it might be a commentator's jinx again, but I sincerely hope that the Mercs have something to prove today.
I'm sure they'll be looking to have a good race. I think that's a start right now after the 2 incredible qualifying sessions, followed by horrible races that they had. But yeah, it's anyone's guess. Clearly, Big Man Joe's brought his best to Monaco. I'm pretty sure he's put in a lot of time on the track.
Without a doubt. And if anything, it was Big Man Joe who took us by surprise so far. If you remember, I think it is the 2nd episode of Rims and Sim when we were talking about how Big Man Joe has been under the radar so far. It's not bad, but it's not up to the standard that we saw in season 3. Now it's definitely, him switching his control scheme and everything else at the play, but you can't fault him for that, but definitely you will know that he himself is not happy with his performance.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the turning point.
Yep, hopefully it is. I mean, we'd really like to see a bunch of drivers who were very competitive last season around be right up there again, going wheel to wheel with the newcomers. The likes of X356 even, where we saw quite a bit of moves by the driver last season around. We do see those moves yet again this season, however at the back of the pack. Now we'd really like to see that probably in the top 5 ideally. UK has joined a bit late, but he will be looking to set in a lap time or 2. Doesn't seem like a lot of drivers are out on track currently, so must be the ideal of times to set in a lap time.
I definitely feel that all the drivers will be setting a lap time on the softs. because there's just no value, there's no point in setting the times on the mediums. And despite people going for different strategies, maybe it's still going to be a one-stop strategy. So there's nothing to lose at this point.
I had a text message today morning as I woke up from SV11. He said, Sarthak, the sleeping bull will charge today. So I'm excited to see how the Red Bulls will do. Already one driver down in qualifying, who accelerates starting from the back of the pack, but SV is still in there. Sector 2 as he comes through. Seems good for now, but what kind of lap time could you expect from SV11?
I definitely think that he is going to end up in the top 10.
Okay.
Top 5 is a bit of a stretch, but since he said that the sleeping bulls will charge, having one driver in P18 is not exactly charging, so SV will have to do a lot better than just top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure. Chris Bai just set the fastest lap time so far, 1 minute 10.614. Chris Bai, someone who started the season in a high, however, had a bit of unfortunate races along the way, but with just 6 races done, 7th race going on right now, you'd think it's nearly just a start, but I'm pretty sure he'll be hoping for a good race as well. Horning in the top 5 along with Fries, so maybe, just maybe, we might see the Merc drivers bring out their A game once again in qualifying.
That's true, and the Merc actually have some good standing when it comes to quali and the race itself. They have just been unlucky. There's no doubt about their performance levels, but luck has not been on their side, and if there is someone else with the same bad luck as Mercedes, it has to be Chris Bai, the one you literally mentioned before them.
Yep. Avi is another driver known to climb up the pack incredibly, but I'm pretty sure he'd fancy a front row start instead. Goes to sector 3, but couldn't set a better lap time, I presume. Yeah. Still 12th fastest out there. Seems like we could have had a bit of a disconnection from KDB possibly. He's still in the pits. And yes, he will return, I'm sure. The game playing all kinds of tricks here today.
I'm just glad to know that I'm not the only one who F1 decided to betray. But yeah, I just pray that these issues don't plague us during the race.
It seems like we've lost out on another driver during qualifying session. Ruds Gouts, our good friend Gouts, has been disqualified as well. He'll be starting ahead of Accelerate. Meanwhile, speaking about Accelerate, Amaya with the bold prediction in the chat, Accelerate P18 to P1.
Ooh, that is definitely interesting. And knowing Accelerate, he does have the potential. It's all about how fierce of the competition he will face.
Into sector 2.
Do you think he could do it though, Sarthak?
I'd say depends on the weather. I'm going to say that as Accelerate joins back. I really think if we do have a race with no rain at all, I really do think, unless we got like a bunch of safety cars like we had last season around, I don't think that's going to change much. P18 to P1 in Monaco, that's quite a feat.
It's not impossible, but it's highly probable, I would say.
We got quite a competitive grid this season around as well. It's not like last season around where we had that was real close by the Williams driver. Almost went into the Red Bull of SV11 who was, coming out of the pits. But I'm pretty sure there was a safe distance. I don't think SV11 was the one who could have been at fault there if something turned out wrong. Definitely one of the Williams drivers almost ended their qualifying session for them.
Yeah, that pit exit is really, really scary, and we really need to fix that. I hope FIA do make it a bit of a different change. I think the pit exit exactly at turn 1 would suit well. That could work out.
Possibly, but I do remember it was a bit different, wasn't it? before, a few years ago at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, the pit exit was much open, so to
Yeah.
say. So the drivers immediately used to spill on the track rather
Yeah.
than follow that one line till turn one.
So
It
yeah.
just used to be merging it on the main straight. I cannot imagine who sanctioned that. Like, maybe they were sleeping that day.
Yeah, possibly. Rusty Nish on a fast lap out there, going through sector 3. He's in the 1 minute already, so I wouldn't say the best laps right now, but it'll be, sorry, I went blank once again, but Rusty Nish across the line doesn't set a bad lap time. 1 minute 12.670, the lap time he set last time around. Sticks 14th fastest. UK going fastest so far with under a minute coming up. So UK currently the fastest driver out there. Big Man Joe's on outlap, however.
UK will try to seize this opportunity because he has been on an upwards trajectory in form so far. Got his podium as well. He had one podium which didn't stand after penalties, so all he needs right now is that one elusive win, and what better way to do it than Monaco?
Yeah. He is the proven race winner last season. 30 seconds left into qualifying. Big Man Joe just started his fast lap. UK will not be able to set another lap time, which means 1 minute 9.891. Better give him a good grid spot. I'm pretty sure that's what he's hoping for. But Big Man Joe out on track, Chris Bai is out on track, and so is General Pepe, Horning, Freeze. All these drivers who've been in the top 5. Seto RC18 retires from the session, so he'll be starting on P15. General Pepe has retired from the session, which means he will start P9. He will not start in on pole, and I think I just saw a Haas in the middle of the track, so I'm assuming he is just stopped out on track. KDB set the fastest lap time, 1 minute 9.805, but Big Man Joe still on a fast lap invalidated his lap. RB Ferrero.
A bit of a detail as well, Sarthak. So Gautam actually got disconnected from the game by the game. There was nothing wrong with him. He just got DSQ'd once more.
Could we possibly see another qualifying session?
This is Barcelona all over again.
Oh.
I don't know why this is happening.
No. Unfortunate for him, but Ferrero out on track now. I'm pretty sure stewards will deliberate whether or not to have a qualifying session once again. But for now, KDB on provisional pole, and the way Ferrero is going incredibly slow and into the pits, you'd reckon if this qualifying session is the one we'll be sticking with, KDB is on pole position in Monte Carlo once again. Big Man
Well,
Joe
I
put
would say
himself.
that KDB, UK and Big Man Joe had the best qualies today, and in a long time this season actually.
Thunderbird in the chat coming through saying, hope everyone carries enough fuel this time, unlike last season in the race.
Oh yeah, we don't want stalled cars on the road.
Yeah, definitely not. And I wonder if General Pepe had that issue in qualifying. But I don't think that would even be an issue in qualifying, would it, Ruds?
I don't think so. You have enough fuel for 2 fast laps if you like, or you could just go all out for 1 flying lap. But
Yep.
I don't think that's an issue.
Also, seems like Ferrello racked up a 5-position grid penalty as well. Fortunate for him, which means he'll be starting 5 positions down, which means around P10, I presume? P11, in fact.
P11,
Yeah.
in fact, yep.
Okay, looks like Freeze.
Well,
will
that's
start.
good news for General Pepe as well as SV11.
Yeah.
Because they both are in the top 10 comfortably now.
Yeah. KDB on pole position yet again. Kind of saw this coming. UK's lap time still managed to get him a front row start, so he'll be elated by that.
Yep. And I think the top 3 might form the potential podium as well. That is my guess.
All right, so you think
No jinxing, but
Okay.
yeah, I do. I don't know the order yet, but I do know that the 3 of them can make the podium.
Okay, KDB, UK and Big Man Joe for the podium is the prediction coming through from Ruds. And we have rain in Monaco, and we promise you we have dynamic weather on.
Yeah, I think Accelerate DSQ'd for this very reason. Maybe he just quit the game and started hacking into the server, the lobby, and he got what he wanted.
I'm pretty sure a lot of drivers from last season have a grin on their face coming into the race start, and I'm pretty sure Thunderbird, who might be watching, is probably laughing as well, because to imagine having a repeat of what happened last season around. But last season around, we did start out with a bit of clearer skies and then eventually led up to rain. So we'll be starting in the rain this time around.
Yeah, and the only thing that is on my mind right now is the rain increasing or decreasing? Because that is very important in this case.
Of course, our very own Will in the chat coming through and saying wet Monaco is the best Monaco.
True. I agree with him.
Formation lap for starters, and Gouts having a disconnection yet again. He's not having the greatest of times, is he?
Yeah, the game is not being kind to him. He even came over to the Discord lobby to complain about it, but sadly we cannot do anything. Signig and SV might have had a bit of a tussle. So they are back to the grid now.
To imagine 4 drivers getting set on track on their grid spots already during formation lap, you'd think where the first lap will be as clean as you would expect.
Maybe, but it's the rain, so I definitely imagine people just skiing around on the track and just sliding into each other.
And for the 20 of you all watching, don't go anywhere, because as the formation lap ends, we are going to see quite the race start. Possibly the best race start, which will test each driver's skill going into the corners of Monte Carlo. My favorite track, to be honest. I love this street track. A lot of the drivers hate it, really. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a bunch of them find it challenging. The driver who started on pole last season is on pole this season as well. KDB, what a guy he is. He just manages to do it every time and just gets it right.
Curious to see how this is going to affect all the riders, because they are on the inters right now, so it's not full wets. And the inters will last you anywhere between 10 to 30 laps. Ideally, you want it to be around 18 laps, so to say. But what if the rain stops before that? You would have to convert your race to a 2-stop strategy, while some of them may be able to push it into a 1-stop. So I think Accelerate might actually fulfill that prediction that was made in the chat earlier.
Possibly. Ameya coming through with a prediction yet again. Accelerate P1. It's all eyes on Accelerate. General Pepe starts at the back of the pack as well. This is incredible. Okay, he doesn't start at the back of the pack. Looks like we've glitched already. Even before race start, it says Sector 3, yellow flag. But KDB on pole, and race will begin. UK right behind. And I hope the race has begun, because we have a lot of glitching and chaos at the back of the pack, and a Red Bull has spun, and cars are glitching. And virtual safety car already, but KDB still holds on to race lead. Coming down the order, I see a Mercedes going wheel to wheel with another car, and that was the Alfa Romeo. Mercedes up into front. Signig has spun out. Hyrox 24 goes ahead as well, but Big Man Joe holding on to the race lead, I presume.
Interestingly, Honing is P2 or P1. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a mix-up of the game. Yep. KDB is still in the lead. KDB is still in the lead with the virtual safety car. We've possibly had the quickest bunch of penalties slapped onto a bunch of drivers. About 10 drivers have penalties. Ruds, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, it looks like Harry Rocks got a 5-second penalty and Accelerate got a 5-second penalty right off the bat before turn 1. And
I think Big Man Joe or Rocky Man lost it in the tunnel. He quickly reset. I presume it almost seemed like one of the cars spun, and yet again Big Man Joe has spun. He's parked out on track. Unfortunate for him, he started on the second row, and right now he's just on track.
And he will have to wait for others. He did. He just did that before his teammate, which should be all right.
He'll be diving into the pit soon enough. Corner cutting penalty for rustiness, 3 seconds already. KDB, UK and Chris Bai in the front.
How about that? One of my podium contenders is down there, getting a pit stop done now.
Yep,
I'm
accelerate.
not gonna say it was a commentator's jinx, but yeah.
But however, things are looking up for Accelerate. He's running P10 already.
Wow, that prediction was a deadly one.
Yeah, disastrous start in Monaco. I mean, we could barely see anything with the rain and with the cars glitching. Accelerate running P9, Rocky Man running a promising P8, running higher than Big Man Joe.
It's complete chaos at the back as well as the front right now, and to be honest, I have no clue how this grid is going to end up in the next 5 laps.
Front runners going through the tunnel. KDB held on to that race lead. First, the 5 drivers in front haven't racked up a single penalty yet, and I'm pretty sure they'll be glad about it. I am as well, and so are the viewers, I hope. Alan in the chat coming through saying, got more drama than F1 will ever have.
I am on the same opinion.
Of course. Disappointing, however. I presume the Red Bull that spun out, of course, was SV11 in the race start. He's running 11 seconds off of Rusty Nish. At the back of the pack, KDB just set a fast lap time. 3 laps only wrapped up at the Monaco GP of Season 4. Sector 2 goes yellow, and I presume it's Hyrox 24 and another driver having a possible issue.
Looks like SV11 and Accelerate have swapped places.
General Pep, and as you say that, General Pepe made a move on Rocky Man on the start-finish straight, and he will climb up to P9, but go ahead, Ruds.
Yep, I was just saying that the Sleeping Bulls are swapping places right now, with Accelerate taking SV's position, while SV takes Accelerate's position.
Indeed they are, and credible to see Avi right up there running P4. Closest drivers out on track, Guts, possibly in attacking distance of say to RC18.
For someone facing such immense internet issues and game issues, God seems to be holding his own quite well. Although he does seem to be ghosted at times. Yeah, I think he's ghosted right now.
Is he though? Okay, yes,
yep,
he
if
is.
you can see from the onboards, it looks like he's ghosted. Yeah.
He is. Not having the greatest of races, is he? Macedo RC18 currently running P11. And UK, his teammate, running P2. I'm pretty sure they'll be looking forward for both the cars in the points, ideally.
Yes, indeed. And I don't think Gods will be ghosted anymore because he has joined the session once again.
Nice to see all 18 drivers still out on track. We haven't had any driver retiring from the race yet, and I hope it stays that way till the very end. We had chaos last season around, but for now, right out on track, KDB leads this race with UK right behind and Chris by. Sector 2
drivers couldn't make it today.
Sector 2 goes yellow, and I see a mark falling behind, and yes, that is Freeze.
But that's sad. Freeze was running quite high. He was P4 if I'm not wrong.
P5 in specific, but yeah, he's fallen quite a bit. He's running behind his teammate Hanning, but hasn't racked up a penalty or so. And right behind, look how close these guys are. Rocketman Seto RC18 and possibly Guts as he's returned.
Yes, he has. Oh, that's a nice camera angle.
Indeed it is. On the gearbox,
especially in the tunnel. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he should fancy a move down the inside. Seto RC18 does peak a bit too much, sends Rocketman sideways, and Guts AI gets a jump in position, 2 jumps in position.
Yep, that's definitely going to the stewards room, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, I can imagine, and seems like Alfa Romeo's not having the best of times. Rocketman will dive into the pits. He needs a front wing change.
And Big Manjo was right behind, so maybe he caught something happening on his POV as well.
Possibly, I'm sure. Right up in the front, Freeze pits as well. Freeze and Rocketman. Rocketman did say if he were to choose another driver to team up with, it would be Freeze, and they'll be seeing each other in the pits for now. Hyrox 24 running P14. Three-second time penalty for Chris Bai, so a front runner racks up a penalty for the first time.
Well, that was a beautiful glitch. Ferrari going for 2 front wings in one.
Indeed. This game doesn't cease to amaze me even once. Anyway, moving on, closest driver out there, accelerate up in a P6. Now this is what I'm pretty sure most of the folks watching this right now expected. He's on the tail of an Alpha Tauri, the old Toro Rosso he was in last season.
Yep, he got promoted just like Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, and Accelerate is here just proving his own saga.
Yeah. GD is, isn't he? Running P6 within 6 laps.
That's an average of 3 overtakes per lap. Wow. On Monaco, yeah. We can just call Accelerate the GOAT of Monaco in VRL at least.
Indeed. It's his favorite, and I'm pretty sure he still has a smile on his face from all the rain coming down. Lap number 6, just lap number 6. 33 laps left, so the race is barely even starting.
Amazing now that you mention it, Sarthak, because even when the quali was beginning, I was like, Accelerate might be hoping for rain. Accelerate wants rain. I hope Accelerate gets rain. Let's see how Accelerate gets rain. And it did happen.
Yeah.
And not just that, him getting disqualified and then me saying that, you know what, he's gonna hack into the lobby. And yes, it turns out it is rain. So I don't know. I think Mercedes needs some of Accelerate's luck, don't they?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do, and they fancy that luck at this race, because anything's possible. And speaking about the Mercs, they've got quite the competitive individual on their tails. Horning has General Pepe on his gearbox. And the move be made by either Accelerate or General Pepe on the straight, but I don't think they'll be able to pull off anything. The rain's coming down pretty hard. Aceto RC18 dives into the pits, which means Big Man Joe will go up into P10. Oh, has a bit of contact with the wall. Going through each drive, Accelerate keeping it as close as possible to RB Ferrero. 17 of y'all watching, what do you think? 7 laps up and we've still got all cars out on track, which I'm pretty pleased about. And Accelerate has spun! He's spun in the chicane. I mean, he's dropped down 2 positions, but hopefully that's not a huge hit for his race. I'm pretty sure he's gonna regret that. Hopefully he doesn't seem like he's had any kind of damage on the front wing, but more on that we'll find out soon enough. On your miss into the wall as well, Accelerate. It seems like that part of the track catching drivers off guard. Big Man Joe have a bit of contact on that part of the track. Mr. Wex has joined, but he'll be spectating only on the gearbox of Horning and searching for a gap almost General Pepe, but Horning not making it easy for the 4-time race winner.
Is it just me, Sarthak, or has the rain increased?
I'm pretty sure it has increased. Now it's a matter of time on when the drivers will pit for wets, full wets perhaps.
Yeah, I think the wets will last you maybe a good 20-25 laps. So they will have to pull out another 7 laps at least.
Yeah, you can see General Pepe struggling for grip. Seems like he's losing his rear quite a bit. going through the tunnel. He's lost quite a bit of time to Horning, and I've lost all interval time gaps on my screen.
Yep, that's gonna reset when we reach the finish line, but that's just how the game is.
Yeah. It is what it is, folks. 9 laps up, rain pouring down in Monaco. KDB leads this race, UK ranks second, and General Pepe racks up a 3-second time penalty.
All these penalties are going to be very, very costly, especially for Monaco, because the gap between each driver is so finite.
And also, I think other drivers waiting for a possible safety car to jump into the pits for full wets.
That's possible, but I doubt we will have any safety car incidents of that magnitude. The field seems to be spreading apart right now.
Yes, they are. That huge gap between RB Ferrero and RV doing the trick as well. And another huge gap between Accelerate and Gouts. Going through the hairpin, General Pepe sneaking down the inside of Horning. Horning not giving up that position no matter what. Like, think about it. General Pepe is peaked down the inside of Horning multiple times in the past couple of laps. And Horning's defended pretty well. SV11 getting a 3-second time penalty. And Horning has spun out as Pepe comes into contact with the wall as well. It almost seemed like Pepe was going to lose it there, but Horning spun out and lost 2 positions. And he's out right where Accelerate spun out.
Well, that was 2 spins in literally 2 corners. Changed the entire outlook of his race, his lap for now.
They're struggling for grip. Pretty evident by some of these drivers on specific parts of the track, of course. Especially coming up to the main straight. Here's where a bunch of drivers lost it quite a bit and had a bit of contact onto the wall. It seems like Accelerate kept it well. I'm
curious to see what tires Horning goes on right now, because he's in the pits. I think it might be wets. Are they?
It's another set of intermediates.
Interesting.
New front wing going on as well. That gap got close real fast. Gouts will take that position on Horning, and Big Man Joe as well. These 3 drivers closer than ever. General Pepe, Accelerate and Ferrello.
The top 5 have had it nice and calm. I think the 6th position is cursed for now. Because General Pepe, Accelerate and Horning kept fighting for it, and yeah, none of them came out looking better from that.
Yeah. We saw Thunderbird peak down the inside of SV11 on that part of the track. Didn't seem like General Pepe was close enough to do the same. On the gearbox of the Alpha Tauri, General Pepe close enough for a possible move on the start-finish straight, but he does lose time, struggling for grip. As it stands, Accelerate keeping it close as well. Down the inside, General Pepe peaks, but Ferrello should be able to fend him off pretty well.
Oh, we might be seeing them go side by side when they enter the Mirabeau section. Very, very likely. Oh, sadly couldn't get it in time, but I think we are seeing the back markers getting lapped now. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, incredibly. Sickning first driver out of the back markers to be lapped. Vixie56 as well. Sector 2 goes yellow, and looks like it's an Alfa Romeo.
I just saw SV spin at the tunnel entrance. I think that's what the yellow flag was for.
Perhaps. Yep. Ferrello will lap Sicknig. Ilox 24 racks up a 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings.
Well, Wix seems to be fighting General Pepe and RB Ferrello, ignoring the blue flag warning. He has 3 corners to give way.
For those of you who don't know, the cars are ghosting. and as the driver is up in front, lap the back markers. KDB still leading this race. You would expect this from KDB, but he's got a good friend called UK right on his tail. 4-second gap, 4.5-second gap. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was actually shocked. I
Yeah.
just saw McLaren behind him, and I thought, why is that 4 seconds? In which universe? But then I realized, oh, that's Setu.
Yeah. Chris By lapping a bunch of drivers as well. Avi close, real close to Chris By. Possibly see him make a move in 2 laps time. Sector 3 goes yellow, and I wonder what went down there.
Seems fine to me right now, but I think there was a Mercedes which lost some grip, maybe freeze.
Big Man Joe closing in on Gautz's AI. There's always an AI out on track doing pretty darn well in Monaco. Last time around it was Cygnus Ragavan.
Oh, I still remember that, and
Yeah.
I don't know how we failed to catch that, Sarthak, honestly.
We're on our toes this time around. So
Yep.
clearly, Monaco ends up being a treat to watch, even if there's an AI out on track. But General Pepe, yet again on the gearbox of RB Ferrero going into the start-finish straight.
Oh,
Peaks
there
down,
was a cheeky little bump.
yeah, peaks down the inside, bit of contact here and there. I don't think you would want to go toe-to-toe with these drivers ever at this point in time, and 2 seconds off of them is accelerate. So it's just these two fighting for position for P5, sorry.
It has been this way for a few laps now, but there's just not enough room to overtake or to capitalize in Monaco unless you make a spin like Horning maybe.
That's something to appreciate from each driver is they're keeping it as clean as possible. You still got all 18 drivers out on track. Something to commend each one of them out there.
Yep, rustiness with the 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That is a common theme today, and I'm sure your braking points are missed. There's no grip to turn, lots of understeer, maybe oversteer, and yeah, lots of penalties to start out through.
And he dives into the pits. We'll be switching tires, and I wonder which set came on. Another set of Inters. Yes, it is. It's like we've lost the interval times once again, but Pepe on the tail of Ferrell. Nothing's changed there. Okay, Ameya being a bit negative, but it's disaster for UK as he loses connection. He's running P2 and was closing the gap to KDB. This opens up a position for Chris By. Sector 2 and 3 go yellow, and we've lost Avi. We've lost Avi.
We'll be able to see that from Horning's POV, I think, or maybe Big Man Joe as well.
Staying on board, Big Man Joe. Oh no, I think that was Rocket
That was
Man.
Rocket
in fact.
Man.
Okay, let's stay on board RB Ferrello. We should be able to see it. Yep, that is Avi at the back.
That's a scary place.
Yep.
That's a VSC is not enough for that, Sarthak. That should be a safety car.
You would expect that, but with the way this game works, anything's possible. Avi, the first driver to retire here at the Monaco GP of BRL Season 4. As it stands, seems like UK, having disconnected, his AI is leading this race. KDB has managed to pit, and so has Chris By. So UK have been caught with a bit of bad luck. I mean, it's so unfortunate for UK.
For sure. I just hope that his AI does not pit him on a wrong strategy that he does not want. before he can reconnect.
Sector 2 goes yellow yet again. Wonder what went down there. And General Pepe up in a P4. So it looks like we might just see him on the podium. If that gap can be closed. Big Man Joe falling down the order. Seems like he's having a bit of an issue. Stay on it. Yep, he's lost an end plate. Big Man Joe has damage as well, running P9.
Yeah, he's going to be understeering on the understeer that you get from the rain. That's how bad it's going to get for him.
Not ideal. Not ideal one bit. To think UK's AI is still leading this race is kind of comical almost.
Yep, but he is losing 1 second a lap to the others behind him, so his AI isn't exactly helping UK.
Yeah. Gaps becoming extending even as Accelerate climbs up a position as General Pepe dives into the pits. Fresh set of inters comes on.
Yeah, I don't think we are ever going to reach the full wet status today, which is kind of good, I suppose.
Perhaps.
Because if these inters lasted 16 laps, each of them, they will need to make one more pit stop. So that's crazy. That certainly makes things very interesting.
Seems like that worked like a charm. General Pepe comes out on track ahead of RB Ferrello.
Ooh. Ferrello almost losing it, but he glided way too smoothly.
Pepe running P5, Accelerate on 15 lap old inters, running P4. I think he'll be hoping to make that gap bigger before going into the pits and possibly coming out in the position he went into the pits in. Big gaps coming up all the way from Chris By down to Hyrox 24. And at the back of the pack, looks like we could see a bit of overtakes. Oh no, ghosted cars at the back of the pack. Vic C56, XV11, both of them have left, which means Sicknig is the only driver out there who's currently running or on track at the back.
I'm sure a lot of the drivers are going to be angry with the game today, especially with the incidents they've had.
I'm sure too. Sector 3 goes yellow, and I wonder what went down there. Rocketman gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Alright, up ahead KDB finally manages to overtake UK's AI and retakes the race lead. Sector 1 and 2 goes yellow, and I presume that's just because of UK's AI and whatnot, but seems like, yep, Sicknig has a spin and is now running dead last.
I think Accelerate has benefited the most so far from these things. I'm not going to curse him or jinx him by any means. I apologize on stream for everybody to know. But yeah, that's actually good progress from him. He's putting up a nice fight.
Meanwhile, we see him go into the pits and coming out on fresh inters, and he will come out right behind General Pepe. Or possibly coming out fighting against RB Ferrello. Yes, he's got RB Ferrello on his tail. It's not the greatest of outings for Ferrello. He's lost 2 positions. Possibly a bad call in strategy, perhaps. Bit too early to pit.
we will definitely see a two-stopper, Sarthak. So that's going to be a very interesting thing. I think lap 30 onwards, there is going to be a nice kerfuffle going around.
UK's AI is still, I mean, okay, the time is only increasing, and Chris Bai should be able to get that P2 out on track. But I wonder if UK will be rejoining soon enough. Probably someone should tell him that he's still running P2.
Yeah. But I don't know how long this will last for.
Indeed. RB Ferraro running P6. We'll try and close that gap to accelerate. Huge gaps all around, and for the 14 of y'all watching with us, drop in the chat what do you think about Monaco so far. 19 laps up. We've got about 20 laps left. And the drivers keeping it out on track. Only a single retirement so far, and which prompted a virtual safety car, which saw the front runners pit, in fact.
Since you mentioned the DNF Sarthak, the retirement, we just got a clip from Avi which shows that he barely kissed the side barrier heading into the left-hander, and that automatically gave him a terminal damage failure. So, yep, it's the game being very, very cruel.
It's definitely not one of the races you'd want the game to be the way it is right now. Yeah, it is what it is. UK seems to have pitted. UK's AI seems to have pitted. Warrants a wing change in the process. And yet again, we find ourselves commentating on an AI running in the top 5 as well.
I think the occasion is special, so we may, let this one slide, because we are seeing the AI actually do better than most drivers today.
It should work out pretty well for General Pepe. He's got a 9-second gap, which is going to close in a matter of seconds, I'd say. Soon enough, he is steaming through Sector 1. Sector 1 goes yellow. Seems like just a bit of a glitch, or it's pretty much prompting every sector where UK is running to go yellow. Sector 1 and 2 go yellow. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, Big Man Joe closing in on Freeze. His gearbox going into the start finish, it should have a shot at challenging for position, but seems to have lost a bit of time as he almost lost his rear completely going into the penultimate bunch of corners there. Kept it on track pretty well there, Freeze. But lost a bit of time. Freeze losing it, and almost seemed like Big Man Joe got handed that position. And yeah, he's losing quite a bit of time, Freeze. Through the hairpin they go. Big Man Joe running P9 now. Only 7 drivers out on track without a single penalty. So you got 10 drivers with penalties. You can imagine how much of a mix-up it's going to cause in the race finish standings. Gout sets the fastest lap time, 1 minute 24.539. But that is Gouts' AI, I presume. Yep, it is. We've got an AI running in podium positions and an AI setting a fastest lap time. And looks like there's a... Is that? Yep, the Alpha Tauri with an issue. Almost seemed like he'd stopped out on track, RB Ferrello.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But he resumes the race, front wing looking intact. Yep, the gaps have become incredibly huge. KDB's gap to Chris Bar is over 20 seconds. Possibly the largest gap he's made in this season to a driver running right behind him. As he leads this race, General Pepe closing that gap, should be able to snatch that position from UK's AI soon enough.
That's very unfortunate for UK. He was on the course to get some nice points, the podium, and maybe even the win. But yeah, the game being brutal as always. Not for the first time today.
Definitely not. Another back marker lapped by KDB. Has UK returned? No, he has not. Let's just stay on board General Pepe, as another position is lost by UK's AI. He'll take his time, get what he needs, and around the corner he'll get the position. UK is out of the podium positions, and if he's watching this instead of being out on track, I'm sure he's devastated.
There's only so much you can do, and this is definitely gonna be a sad moment, but it is something is still salvageable, I suppose. He is on the freshest enters out of all the front runners, so that should count for something.
Perhaps, but he really needs to come back into the game if he wants it. Accelerate will be the next driver getting that jump in position, as Horning within a second of Ferrero.
Gots has also joined the session once more, so
And
it's Gots AI no more.
And I almost think Freeze had a bit of an issue. He's losing quite a bit. He's losing his rear quite a bit, and time to say to RC18. Yep, as expected, Freeze dives into the pits. He's got damage, I presume. No, he's serving his. Yep, he's serving his penalties.
That's his stop and go. Yes. And I think this is the final pit stop, and this should last him till the end. Yep, 15 laps. So Freeze going for an undercut over everyone, Sarthak. Bold call, and I think this is the right step.
Doesn't seem like he loses out on. Okay, yes, he does lose 2 positions and comes out getting lapped by his teammate. And Gert seems to have left the session yet again. Big man Joe behind Gert, so that'll be an easy position jump for him as well. Accelerate should have another position gained in a matter of corners, as UK's AI loses a position for him yet again.
Really unfortunate, but I wonder what's taking him so long. I think that UK might not be continuing once more.
I'm pretty sure he's not. Gert setting a lap time which is real quick. Yet again, 1 minute 12.894.
I think this has half of the lap times of Gots and maybe the final sector from the AI.
Yeah, I mean,
teamwork makes dream work,
I guess. Sector 2 goes yellow. Aseto RC18 goes into the pits. Fresh set of winters gets slapped on. Gots returns.
Gots returns to set the fastest lap time again, only to disconnect after a while.
Makes 356 within a second of Hyrox 24 at the back of the pack, and P15. So stay on board Vic 356. This is interesting, Ruds. I wonder how much penalties General Pepe and Chris Bay have racked up, and Accelerate as well, because that will possibly give us a heads up on who might be on the podium at the end of this.
So it seems I was right, Sarthak. UK will not be returning, and that session quitting was more of a disappointment quit rather than anything else.
Unfortunate for him.
The lobby is very glitched, and I'm sure the drivers will ask for something.
Could we possibly see a repeat of Monaco like we saw a repeat of Hockenheim last season around? And Chris Bay laps Vic 356 and will be lapping his teammate soon enough.
I think there is a good chance that this race could be restarted, Sarthak.
Yeah, I'm sure too.
We were sure about Barcelona as well, but at least Barcelona had some, what can I say, foundations perhaps?
Perhaps. Sector 1 goes yellow and seems like it's a stranded racing point, and I'm pretty sure that's not. Oh, it was. Seems like KDB had a bit of an issue, but I don't think that'll be much of an issue for him, considering the huge gap he's got to Chris Bay. But yeah, he did slow down quite a bit. And UK has returned from what I know, Ruds. And yes, he is out on track. UK returns and he will join P5. He's on 6-lap old Inters. Now it's all about making whatever he's got work.
The front runners will have to pit, but Accelerate in UK might just stretch those tires till the end. So if everything goes according to plan, they might come out fighting for P2, P3 by the end of the race.
But think about the huge gap there is between KDB and Chris Bay, and also Chris Bay and General Pepe.
Yeah, so if General Pepe were to pit, then Accelerate might come to within 4 seconds of General Pepe, and UK would be within just 1 second behind. So there is a good chance of at least one of them getting a podium place.
And SV11 has retired as well. Sector 3 goes yellow. And UK peeking down the inside of Accelerate on his gearbox. Could we possibly see a move in the tunnel section of the track? And yes, we will. Wheel to wheel go Accelerate in UK. But Accelerate holds on to that position. Clearly, the streets of Monaco.
UK had to back off. That would have been calamitous for both the drivers.
But he peeks down the inside yet again, and this time he should get it done. And yes, he will. Around the outside, in fact. And UK is back on track and back in action. Climbs up to P4.
Our first bit of excitement in the wild side.
Yeah.
Feels nice.
Indeed it does, Ruds. Indeed it does. Okay, it seems like it's just one huge gap, which is between General Pepe and KDB. Chris Bay has taken the race lead as KDB pit for fresh Inters.
Yeah. So now all that matters is if UK can carry those 8-lap Inters for 10 more laps.
Sector 3 went yellow for a bit after Ferrello was found just out on track, stopped, and he does dive into the pits.
Yeah, we'll be seeing all the cars diving into the pits now for the last set of Inters.
We have 11 laps left, and information coming through that Gauss has been glitching, so it's not really his AI. You mentioned it perfectly. It's them taking turns almost.
Yep. Teamwork makes dream work, like I said.
Pretty sure the teamwork he'd want is between him and Vic 356. I'm pretty sure he's very frustrated after today. But 3-second time penalty for Irox 24. KDB on fresh inters, I'm pretty sure will take the race lead soon enough from Chris Bai, who's out there on 14 lap only inters.
Do you think UK can get the P3? I feel that he just might.
That's exactly what was running in my head right now, Ruds. I was just wondering, could it possibly be that he manages to get that P3? But you look at how the times are, only reducing between General Pepe and KDB, and of course it extends at some parts. But if UK can have a perfect 10 laps, I can bet that he'll be on the podium.
Yeah, because if you look at it, General Pepe will pit regardless. He has to. Those inters will not last him till the end. But UK, he may be able to pull the inters for 19 laps. So effectively, you can get a 13-second lead on General Pepe. Which puts him around 6 seconds behind KDB. And KDB will be net P1 once Chris Bai also pits.
Yep.
So this is really going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, in the front for sure. Midfield, huge gaps all around. I mean, look at that, all the way from Horning down to Vix 356. Seems like Big Man Joe possibly the only one who can contest for position. Sector 1 goes yellow, and I wonder which car could that be. Rastinesh gets lapped by General Pepe, who's flying in Sector 1. And yeah, Rasin is definitely glitching as well. And yep, Chris Bai doesn't have to pit for KDB to take the race lead. Down the inside, right out the tunnel section, where KDB goes and should have the race lead once again.
Yep, those fresh inters were never going to disappoint, were they?
I wonder if Chris Bai is going to pit this lap.
He should, because now he will be able to use those fresh inters for the last 9 laps and actually have great lap time, but he does not. Not yet.
Stays out.
Maybe he's going to do what UK should be doing, and that is staying out.
And General Pepe almost lost his rear deb, caught it brilliantly. Trying to close in the gap. He's gonna lap Big Man Joe soon enough. And DNF Rusty Nish retires from the session. And does he in the pits? I presume he does.
Yes, he is in the pits. Following the standard VRL protocol that we have established. So that makes a total of 3 DNFs, and we know that at least one of them is an entirely glitched one.
KDB leading this race with 8 laps left. Sector 1 goes yellow, and it's possibly the other Alpha Tauri having issues. No, it's not the Alpha Tauri. Seems like it's... I wonder which... No, I'm a bit confused, in fact. Who's that going through Sector 1?
I think that is RB Ferrello. We have 2 Alpha on the track though, now I'm confused.
Yep, that is definitely a glitch. Seems like, yeah, it is showing Rusty Nish is out on track. Sector 1 and 2 go yellow for that very reason. Possibly jump to Setu RC18 to make sense of what's happening. Yeah, it's the Alpha Tauri of Rusty Nish out on track, but yet it did seem like it said it retired. And no, that is not an audio issue, folks. It's just me saying words real slow because I'm shocked.
Yeah, Sarthak.exe has stopped responding. Yeah. And frankly, so has F12020.exe.
Yeah, and this is going to be a real issue, Rutz, because to think the games evidently handing out yellow flags in every sector Rusty Nish is going through. Oh no, it was Ferrello.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't. It was Rustiness ahead, and that has suddenly disappeared. So that was a one lap thing. Weird.
Weird
Very
indeed. Not much happening otherwise. Drivers holding on to their positions. KTB trying to keep it out on track. Chris Bai running P2. General Pepe running P3. UK P4. Accelerate. Lapping a Racing Point, and I'm pretty sure he'll want to overtake KTB the same way soon enough. Very unlikely. That is the AI of Sicknig.
That's interesting. We don't just have a cross, it's literally AI.
Albifero going through the hairpin. Gouts has Big Man Joe to worry about. A couple of corners down at the back. Please.
I am actually surprised that the Mirabeau section has been clean. The upper section as well as the hairpin. I was frankly expecting someone to bin it, like, just gets beached on the inside of the Mirabeau hairpin, because the footpath is quite raised. And once your car is stuck there, you can't take it out. So I was expecting something like that, but yeah, people are wiser.
Yeah, possibly something similar to what happened to Vic 356 last time around.
Yep, something of that sort.
Yeah. And Vic 356 almost goes in to the wall there. Caught it really well. That's the same part of this track perhaps where Rusty Nish lost it last season. And looks like we've got another retirement. Yes,
that's
high of 24. In the pits.
He also seems to be in the pit, but now I'm curious if the AI is going to take his car out.
And yes, it is.
Oh yes. This is not going to be pretty.
And I think that's Williams coming out Chris by. Yep. That's Hilux 24's AI coming out of the pits. Okay. Pretty much disaster there, but Horning going through tunnel section within a second of accelerate. Sector 1 and 2 go yellow, and evidently it's Hilux 24's Williams.
Yeah, I think this one is gonna go on until the Nouvelle chicane at least. Oh, never mind. It disappeared right before Mirabeau.
I'm pretty sure we're all glad about that. Sicknig's AI incredibly slow on the penultimate corner. But on the start finish straight, we see Horning within half a second of accelerate. Does he have what he needs to pull off a possible move? No, he doesn't, but sticks to the gearbox of accelerate.
Surprisingly, we have seen more overtakes happening at the Mirabeau section than we have at the main straight.
There's contact there between Horning and Accelerate. He does peek down the inside. Accelerate trying to fend off the Mercedes driver, and he will keep position. That was real close.
Yep, I think Accelerate
goes
his wheels to the inside.
And he even goes into the wall, Ruds. Horning will get that one. Lost an end plate as well, so he'll be diving into the pits. 3 laps left, perhaps, or not. What do you reckon?
I think he's gonna drag it till the end because Ferrello is 10 seconds behind. So I think he can afford a 2-second loss in time every lap.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the condition of his front wing. It's not looking pretty at all.
Yeah, but it's wiser to fight for the P6 rather than pit and lose up to 3 positions.
Dude, it is.
Well, he'll be losing 1 because Gotts is pretty far away, but still, it's... Yeah, I think he might stay out.
Oh, he will. Dude, 35 laps up, 4 laps left. As we stay on board UK, who's running P4. Both the drivers in front of him have penalties racked up. The gap has reduced significantly since the last couple of laps. It's a matter of time when we find out whether or not we're going to see UK on the podium. Accelerate does pit Ruds.
Okay, so I feel that X-Raid is feeling a little bit adventurous and he might take on a challenge of covering those 10 seconds. But yeah, I don't think that's happening. P7 might be the best he'll do.
Yeah, and meanwhile, a bit behind them is big man Joe, having done the move, climbed up a position on Freeze. It's Freeze's AI. Seto RC18's AI as well, which means the drivers running at the back are probably Rocketman and Vixie56. I'm trying to figure out if Sicknig has returned or it's his AI. It's his AI. Yeah.
Yep, that's his ghosted car.
Yep, C56 and Rocketman going wheel to wheel at the back of the pack. Oh, there's contact. Oh, disastrous there for both drivers who managed to stay out and not given up on this race. But after a bit of contact, they're still out on track. Rocketman being incredibly aggressive, just as aggressive as Vixie56. They both had contact with the wall. Rocketman fancies a dive around the outside perhaps, but they're still within half a second of each other.
Yeah, I think that dive bomb from Vix was pretty scary. I would have been scared if I was the one driving ahead of him. But Rocketman, good on him for not letting go of that position so easily.
Yep. But he evidently had to. Vix356 running P12, Rocketman running P13, and Sicknig runs in P14 as his teammate is set in sights for a race win. We've seen incredible racing by all the drivers who managed to stay out on track. Of course, it's still up for debate whether or not we will have this race cancelled, evidently scrapped, and have a redo of the Monaco GP, the BRL Monaco GP once again. We already got Avi in the chat saying race restart and smile.
He knows it's coming.
Yeah.
That's all we can say at this point.
Sector 1 goes yellow, and that is Rocketman perhaps.
Yep, going pretty slow, but not sure why.
Vixie56 comes out onto the track.
That was a very late time to pit, to be honest. Just 2 laps to go.
Pretty sure, I think the first half of the season itself, Vixie56 in his head has programmed himself to be, for it to be an experimental phase with his wheel. But as I say that, he almost spun on sector 1, but he somehow keeps it on track in the penultimate lap. KDB leading this race. UK real close to General Pepe within half a second.
All he has to do is just keep that, because General Pepe has penalties, and I think he has 6 seconds worth of penalties, Sarthak. So UK might be getting P3 comfortably, but yeah, P2 is out of reach. I'm glad that he and I were on the same wavelength for the strategy, because those inters on 18 laps are still doable. They're still good enough, because yeah, he had nothing to lose at this point. Just went for it.
Going through the tunnel, he should keep it well within reach of General Pepe. I think the start finish straight is where he's looking to capitalize. I think we missed out quite the treat today, Ruds. I think a wheel-to-wheel battle between KDB and UK was missed out on the streets of Monaco because of UK's glitch. I'm pretty sure he was looking incredibly strong today.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. From the looks of it, he's having issues, but he doesn't have the ERS he needs to make a move. But he is well within half a second of General Pepe. KDB goes into the tunnel one last time on the final lap of this incredible Monaco GP. I think the fact that we kind of already know a race restart is possible, I don't even know what to say, but the results will matter at the end of today, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be up for debate on whether or not we'll have another Monaco GP. Through sector 3 he comes, KDB. What a race it's been. He put the car on pole last season around. He put the car on pole this season around. He can send the car left and right all he wants. 5 times a race winner, KDB, and the driver to have the second most wins in the league. What a race he's driven. Chris Bwoah on the podium yet again will finish P2. General Pepe racked up enough penalties to lose his podium finish. Perhaps? Yes, he will.
Yep, most definitely. Look at UK.
Yeah.
He might get P3 on track, does he?
Almost gets P3 on track, but it seems like
either that's just one more glitch. It's just
okay.
One more glitch.
Yep. Which means UK is on the podium this season around as well.
The drivers better record the race director, or else we can't help them.
Yeah. I hope they do. Also, I think it's a mixture of emotions from everyone after this race, considering what went down there. Promising finish for Ferrello, as he is the only AlphaTauri to finish in the points. Rusty Nish having DNF'd. Horning, I wonder, will he be able to get that jump on Ferrello after post-race penalties? Yep, comes across the finish line. Should have gotten that position jump, but KDB wins the BRL Monaco GP Season 4. And the title fight continues.
This was fun.
General Pepe gets the driver of the day. And we get sent straight to the Racing Point garage with a mechanic on top of the car.
That's the 2020 regulations, come on.
Of course it is. Vex in the chat as well, asking for a race restart. And yes, for those of you who don't know already, if there is a race restart, we'll be seeing it at the end of the season, after Abu Dhabi GP. Just like we had the German GP redone at the end of last season. Hopefully we don't, hopefully these results stick. But then again, the stewards will deliberate on it, and I'm pretty sure it will be called, a vote will be put out amongst the drivers as well, for the drivers to vote on a restart or not. And it seems like the game has glitched and we won't even be able to see the final standings. So yeah, with that folks, KDB wins the BRL Monaco GP Season 4. He's got Chris Bwoah for company right up there on the podium. Chris Bwoah, a promising race he's had after all Monaco threw at him and at every one of the drivers. And UK on the podium yet again. Ruds, fantastic race. A bit disappointing on some fronts, but yeah.
Yep, don't worry. I think we're going to see something very soon. So let's not draw conclusions just now.
Exactly. More on whether or not we'll have a race restart at the end of the season on our Instagram. So make sure you head there and drop a follow. For those of you who are new to RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on what you thought about me and Rudz's commentary, as well as the stream itself and the drivers who went out on track in the streets of Monte Carlo. We'll see you again next weekend for race number 8.
Yep, stay tuned for that.